Hello and welcome on Sport Update on Trust TV. Adini Ajishafe. 2 games for Nigerian teams tonight. That has to do with the Wafu women and also the Flamingo, rather the Flying Eagles. They'll be playing over there in Argentina, while the Falconets will be playing at Babayara Stadium in Kumasi, Ghana. We'll start with the first story that has to do with the ladies. But before then, okay, good one. Falconets to face Togo, set for semi-final ticket. Wafu B tournament taking place in Ghana. Ghana, they are the host. But right now, our ladies, the Falconets, really, they did well in their first game, walloping Nigerian Republic 7-0. And the second game, they'll be facing Togo by 6 p.m. They'll be facing Togo there, and we are believing that the ladies will also do well in this particular encounter. Expecting much goal from Opeyemi Ajakaye and all the rest, Jumoke Alani, all of them as a team. They are doing well under Coach Chris Danjuma in that game that will be expected that they should win and see how they can get to the semi-final ticket. We hope that they can do it. Alongside myself in the studio, I have Noel Sampson. Good to have you on the show. And also have Emmanuel Fashemi. Good to have you.
The pleasure is mine.
Now, our ladies, they will be playing in a couple of minutes. They will be starting that game against Togo. First game, they won 7-0 against Nigerian Republic. And this second game, though the ladies have been told they should not be complacent because they won 7-0, they should come out en masse and make sure they get the semi-final ticket.
For the Togo ladies, it's going to be a tough game for the Falconets because they shouldn't be carried away, like you mentioned it, because 7-0 of the first game can actually get into their head. But for the Falconets, I believe they are capable of beating the Togolese team. If you look at it, the Wafubi tournament is a place where we have dominated both male and female, but this time around I think it's going to be a different ball game against this Togolese team. 7-0 of the first leg should just be like we struggle to win. That should be at the back of their mind. They shouldn't say, okay, we had it rosy in the first game and then this one is a walkover. If they get the maximum 6 points, they are through to the semi-final, which will give them 1 leg into the final. And if you win the final, we are sure of playing the under-20 AFCON as it stands, and then you get the World Cup ticket. But as it is right now, I think Chris Danjuma has actually put in a lot of work. I was happy that the friendly games they played in Abuja before they left the country was they had scored goals. The last game was 10 goals they scored against the opposition, and their first game in the Wafubi proper, they replicated that same feat by scoring 7 goals. That's to tell you these girls are business ready. We've seen just like our golden eaglets, after beating teams friendlies here and there, they got to the competition proper. They couldn't score goals. They were struggling to get goals. The same thing with our under-20 male team. But for the ladies, they did it in the friendlies, in the preparation, and now they are doing it in the competition. That is what it is. Whatever you do while you are preparing for a tournament, once you get there, you transform that same your preparation, and then you better it than what you even had it during your preparation. And that is what we've seen with the girls. Good one. I expect a win, but I don't expect that number of goals.
But from the way it is now, beating Togo 7-0, rather Nigerian Republic 7-0, and now we are facing Togo. Togo, we know that yes, they might not be a strong football nation compared to Nigeria, but really they will not want that 7-0 walloping of Nigeria to also come to them. So they will put up a good fight against Nigeria Falconet team. From the way it is, what are you looking at as a scoreline?
Either they like it or not, they will collect. That is my own view about it. The girls have really been trying their best. They've been giving us quite a number of joy. Right from, if you can see, the Falconets. No, in fact, when it comes about Nigerian football, the ladies have always been at the top of their game, either we like it or not. They have not disappointed us. Even though they might not maybe win the call, at least they give us that joy for us to watch and see them play. So them play against when I had the scores they scored against Niger, are they playing table tennis or playing basketball? So I'm expecting such goals from them against Togo to the board, even though if not up to 7, at least 5 to 6, because these girls, they know what at stake. They know once they win this match, they're going to the semi-final, then qualify, play for the under-20, then go another stage like that. So I know they want to do that so that they'll get to the next level. So I believe they have that. I have that faith in them. I know they're going to perform better, and I have that faith in them better than our boys playing today.
Now, from the way it is right now, Emmanuel Fashimi, you look at what Nwe just mentioned now, that he's actually having faith in the ladies. It's always very common that we've dominated Africa, West Africa, Africa when it comes to football. Why is it always so hard for our ladies to actually prosper when it comes to international scene, be that the World Cup under 20, under 17, even Super Falcons? It's always difficult to conquer the world. Although for the junior level, we still try semi-final, final, all that, but for the senior, why is it always so difficult? After dominating Africa for a very long time, the most successful women team, in fact, in the whole Africa, if you are to mention a national team that has been so successful, it's been Super Falcons. But why not that transcended to the international scene?
And if you look at it of recent, I think we're actually going back. We are going down. Not even going back. If you are going back, you still have that.
You want to go forward.
You want to go forward. But if you are going down, it's always very difficult. Look at what Super Falcons did at the AFCON. Even the bronze game against Zambia, we managed. We lost. We lost because the Zambia won. The only joy we had was that the four semi-finals qualifies to the World Cup, and that was our consolation. What else? Nothing. We couldn't even win the tournament. We couldn't. The only game that actually people came out and said, okay, they did their best was the game against Morocco after that red card for a team to hold a host for 120 minutes, and they had to stretch that game to penalty shootout. We had to, even though they didn't win, they didn't do anything. We gave them that pass mark. But against the Zambian ladies for the bronze match, we expected the Super Falcons to rewrite the wrongs in that game against the Moroccans. But what happened? We fell like a pack of cards. And like the question you asked, I think the NFF is not doing enough. NFF, sports stakeholders in Nigeria, they are not paying attention to the women. They need to pay attention to women's football in this country. Pay attention to NWFL, that's the women's league. Look inward. What are they? Look at the women's soccer league that is going on in England. Look at the way these girls are playing. Look at the sold out ticket for the FA final between Chelsea ladies and Arsenal ladies. Look at the weekend match, Chelsea Arsenal again in the weekend match. Look at the number of crowds. How many of us goes to watch the women's game when they are playing? How many of us goes to their centers when the league is going on? What support are they getting from the NFF? What support are they getting from the ministry? What support are they getting from other well-to-do Nigerians out there, those who love sport? What are they actually doing? We are not doing enough. That is why the glory that these girls had in the past was determination, and because we started this, when it comes to women's football in Africa, I can say Nigeria started well ahead of every other country in Africa. Now, even in the world, we started well ahead of other countries. I remember our first outing in the World Cup, that was 1999, the FIFA Women's World Cup, where we actually got to the second round. Look at the likes of Chejina and the rest of them in that squad. Look at what they gave. Look at the likes of Patience Ivre, Mercy Akide. These were ladies who were playing football with passion. So many of them faced so many challenges from family, from peers, because once you are a lady, you are playing football, they look at you as, let me use this Nigeria balance, you know, follow. That is, and your parents will say, okay, if you play football, we'll wash our hands off.
No, it's just an irony now, because you look at all the, let me use the word, professions that we've really underrated, undermined, like they don't have future, you know, football for women, entertainers like musicians or whatever, you know. But now, reverse is the case. Reverse is the case because I saw the house that Asisa Oshuala actually got for a parent, and I'm like, okay, good.
Is that not a woman?
Good. This is a lady. You can imagine how happy the father, the mother of that lady. Now look at all the squad, the Super Falcons, the Falconets, the Flamingos. They are now like the breadwinner of their families because they earn money from their clubs, they earn money from this and that and all that.
Endorsements.
So that is why I said, our administrators, NFF, the body that is concerned with football-related matters in Nigeria, needs to wake up. They need to pay attention to these ladies, psychologically, mentally, and otherwise. What are they going through? What are their challenges? How are they coping? How are they faring? What do they actually need? And let's make the league as in the NWFL, the Nigerian Women's League, let's make it a viable one. Let's have it that other countries will come to Nigeria and begin to play, because to tell you the truth, we are going down. South Africa has taken over. Look at what Morocco is doing. A whole Morocco. Look at what their women is now doing in football. So we just need to, if we say go to the drawing board is full. Let's sit up. Let's wake up, because we are sleeping. If we don't wake up, in 2-3 years, Super Falcons will be a story.
Now, when you said a whole Morocco, what did you mean? No, wait, I just wanted to pull you there. I was expecting to say whole Nigeria, but you say a whole Morocco.
A whole Morocco. Yes, sincerely speaking. In women's football.
From today, your name is a whole Morocco. Anyway, I just raised some bands in the studio concerning the show. We've been talking concerning our football tournament taking place in Ghana, precisely at the Bayara Stadium in Kumasi. Nigerian lady, Falconets, will be up against Togo, and they'll be fighting her first match. They won that game 7-0 against the Nigerians, but right now they are facing the Togolese ladies. Well, let's hope that our ladies will also bang more goals in this particular encounter there. Noel and Emmanuel have been doing the justice to those topics. Now, quickly, let's talk about another game that will be coming up tonight. By 7 p.m., we're expecting our guys, that's the Nigeria under-20 team, Flying Eagles, to fly ahead of Italy, because they'll be facing Italy. Italy defeated Brazil 3-2. But now let's look at let's talk about this match, Nigeria versus Italy, match preview rather. That will be coming up at the Estadio Argentinas in Mendoza, over there in Argentina. And that game is a big game because Italy defeated Brazil 3-2. We also won against Dominican Republic 2-1, although it was a tough one a bit for Nigeria. But can we do it against Italy? According to bookmakers, some are saying Nigeria will defeat them. The captain of Flying Eagles, Daniel Bamaye, says we are not scared of Italy. All these statements, are they coming to pass, or just a noise, or just to at least encourage the lads? And aside that, we've seen Nigerians saying, well, go out there and do well. As it is, Italy versus let me see the word Italia versus NFF. But from the way it is, we are going to be playing against Italy tonight by 7. Italy 3-2. And as a particular player, Cesar Desalia or thereabout, we should watch out for that lad. These guys, before the World Cup, at the Wafu B, we saw what they did. At the Nations Cup, AFCON, they struggled. It was obvious they struggled. I don't think you don't understand. The Golden Eagles, the Flying Eagles, scored so many goals while they were in camp in Abuja. And then, immediately they travel out to the AFCON. The goals shrinked up. And now they are the World Cup. 2-1 against Dominican Republic. In fact, I think they scored us first.
Yes.
So now we are facing Italy, who defeated Brazil, 5-time champion, 3-2. How do you see that?
They even scored the 3 goals before Brazil actually got back the 2 goals. For the Flying Eagles, we made mention of these on the show the other day that on Monday, they should not be carried away by the first victory against Dominican Republic. And secondly, I actually noticed individual style of play in that team, which I have questioned Landamboso from the Wafubi, this individual style of play till the AFCON, and now they have carried the same attitude to the World Cup. On that night against Dominican Republic, there were a lot of chances that this guy would have created for themselves, give to the other person to get the goal, but he decided either to shoot or to even do something funny with the ball. But against the Italians that are so compactable at the back, fast on the ball, look at what they did to the Brazilians. They hit the Brazilian unexpectedly, because from the blast of the whistle, look at the firepower. Before Brazil will even understand what is going on, 3 goals.
You didn't understand what hit them.
Before they could wake up, they are already counting 3 goals. And they were like, what is going, like a magic.
You know, I call it film trick.
Sincerely speaking, against the Italians, I think they should not be complacent. They should play as a team. I'm worried if this team actually play as a team, if they work for each other, they will do better. They will play well. But against the Italians tonight, for what they need to do, that is why I actually question this write-up by praising Bamaye as the best passer of the ball. It's not necessary. We don't need all those hype. As in, this is business. They should be serious with it. Playing against the Italian tonight, the player you mentioned, that guy is just too good. Can our defense contain the firepower of the Italians? If you ask me, I'm scared.
Now, let that question be thrown to, no, it's not me. So, can our defense hold Italian defense? Sorry, yes, our defense, can they hold the Italian strikers, especially that Cesar, the Sally, thereabout?
Let's start from the game against Brazil, Italy-Brazil. We all know Brazil in world of football, they're like a world power. And the term coach of Brazil, it's actually the under 20 coach of the Brazil team. I know some of the players, he has featured them probably in the senior team. So when they were about to play against Italy, we were thinking, okay, it's going to be a walkaway. Probably, if it's going to be a walkaway, then it's going to be maybe a draw. But it was like a shock when I saw the first 3 goals before Brazil actually, bounced back. They're leaving that alone. Coming to Nigerians, you see that style of individual football is something that it seems like it's like a cancer that's been Nigerian football.
Maybe the issue of show off so that agents can sign them.
If you can say,
I will come to that. Let him finish.
Because it's actually right. We all played ball in secondary school, and that has been the pattern of our football from secondary school. You want to play the ball. That issue of being like a team it has been a problem that
you don't play cohesively.
It's from the grassroots.
Everybody wants to display talent.
Yes, you can see someone who is very good with the ball. Someone can play well. Let him go to a very organized team. He's nowhere to be found because he's not used to that kind of individual. Team work. So I think the thing has to be from the grassroots where everybody, instead of let's see you as a defender, as a striker, let's see the skill you can do. No, I think as a winger has said, the main purpose of football is so if you can once you can trap a ball and pass. Those are the major philosophy of football. You see the other, I want to do leg over, I can do through pass, there are those side attractions. The main thing of football is to know how to control the ball and give the pass. So I think that is the problem of I mentioned because when I mentioned about individualism, if we cannot still work on that pattern of being as a team, if we are not a team in this against Italy, they will knock or something. I should use that word. We are not a team because the defense they have to work together. Not that because you right back, you hold the ball. Once you hold the ball, you want to run with the ball. You're a defender because you want to try to show up that you're a good defender. He beats you when you want to try and rough the player and you get a red card. It's good to get the team. So I think that cohesive, that teamwork has to be where everybody massive attack. Massive defense. Dribble when you know you're supposed to beat the other person. Pass when you're supposed to pass. Play short when you're supposed to play. Do not that individuality should be taken away from them. Now,
coming from what I just mentioned, because I noticed that it affected our Golden Eagles too. When they noticed that agents were around trying to see how they can sign them at the World Cup. We saw rather at the AFCON. We saw what they did. Everybody started playing individually, and it cost Nigeria from performing well at that competition. Now, we are at the World Cup, and like you guys opine that the team is also still playing individual football. Don't you think it could still be the same issue of, scouts are watching, let me impress them?
It's the same issue of scouts are watching, and before these guys left, they have one or two their agents who actually spoke to them, and you know that this is part of the world. Some feelers who actually want to dig deep. Some of them got into that team through the back door, that they are not supposed to be there. But that is a topic for another day. Now, I think the NFF needs to do something about the agents. Now, if you are bringing a player, or whether if a player has been scouted and discovered, I think the agents should not interfere. There should be a law that, once a player is on a national duty, there should be, let me say, a blockade right now, or a law backing it that you don't have any say. That player should not be in contact with you. You should not contact the player. Immediately after the national assignment, you can have your player and whatever. And then, if the coaches notice individual play, I love some coaches who normally take the bull by the horn. Once you are playing individually, they take you out of the team. They freeze you out of the team. There are some other persons there who is ready to play. And before they go onto the pitch, the coaches should sound this note of warning. If I'm the coach, I have the right to substitute. I have the right to put you on the bench. But some of the coaches also have soiled their hand by collecting what they are not supposed to collect from these players. But quickly to talk about today's game. Now, that defense against the Italians, I still see some from this guy. I think Izio Gucci was the other fair guy. I think he needs the confidence. He's good. He's good. He's good going to mark opposition strikers. He's good getting the ball, but he still needs this confidence going forward because there are some indecision. Once the ball passes through the midfield and the ball gets to him, he's somehow jittering. He's not confident with the ball going forward or even giving good pass. Exposure. I think as he's exposed himself to strikers and a lot of mistakes on that day against the Dominican Republic. If not that, okay, maybe Sherlock and whatever would have considered more than a goal. But against the Italians tonight, these guys should not be complacent. They should be defensively tight. Then at the midfield, they should talk to themselves. This guy who is very fast, Sunday, should make good use of that flank very well. Bring into the balls into the 18-yard box so that the strikers can have something to feed on. Well,
we've been talking concerning Flying Eagles playing against the young Azuris of Italy by 7 p.m. A big match between the two because we know what's at stake. Italy winning their match against Brazil is a big tonic for them. That will actually give spur them into action against Nigeria. Nigeria also defeated Dominican Republic 2-1 in their own game. But right now, both of us won our first game and the two of us are meeting now. Italy versus Nigeria. A big one at the Estadio Argentinas Mendoza over there in Argentina. Big match there, and we hope the Nigerian team will do well. They can fly ahead of the young Azzurri after all. Eagles will always fly ahead. Well, we just hope that they will be able to do well in that encounter. We've been looking at the preview of those at that particular game, and we've looked at Nigerian team, the Flying Eagles, playing together as a team, not individually. That will help them to be able to defeat the well-compacted young Azuris. Now, before we go, let's quickly look at some fixtures for tonight. We talk about Premier League, or rather Coppa Italia. Coppa Italia, Fiorentina will be playing against Inter Milan in that game. Big one there, Coppa Italia, Fiorentina, Inter Milan. And we also quickly, Premier League, Brighton versus Manchester City. Man City will also be playing against Brighton. Although Man City, they've since won the league, and they're just playing to make up the numbers. Good one for them, the citizens of England. Spanish La Liga fixtures, game will be coming up in Spanish La Liga. We look at Elche against Sevilla, Rayo Vallecano against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu, Villarreal against Cadiz, Atletico Madrid travel away to Espanyol in the city of Barcelona, Real Betis, they play host to Getafe in those games that will be coming in La Liga. And then the last one says Bayern Munich wants Manchester City's forward, Julian Alvarez, in the summer. They want to get the Man City player. Can they do it? Will Guardiola allow Julian Alvarez to move? Well, that question will be for the management of the champions of England. And let's see if they will become champions of Europe. I've been with Emmanuel Fashemi. Before we go, just your scoreline, Nigeria, Italy.
1-0.
Favor of?
Nigeria.
Because I need to ask that question. I don't know if you are an Italian. What about you?
3-0.
In favor of who?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Okay, we wait to see. Truly, those scoreline will actually come to favor of Flying Eagles. We expect them to play as a team and not individually. Good one from Emmanuel Fashemi. Thanks so much.
It's been my pleasure.
And also from Noel.
The pleasure is mine.
3-0 you said. And you said 1-0.
Anything is possible.
I just hope boys afraid. If you're a fair man. Good one there. Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.